evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Les Brown's Motivational Monday Night Call, your place for motivation and inspiration by world-renowned speaker, author, coach, Mr. Les Brown, featuring his platinum speakers. We're so excited that you've joined us this first Monday of May 2016, and you're a part of this community. To all of those who have been here faithfully every single week, we thank you for being a part of this family. And for the new callers who joined for the first time, we say welcome. And thank you so much for taking time out of your Monday to join us tonight. My name is Dr. Stacy N.C. Grant, and I have the privilege and blessing of being your host. And I want to thank you on behalf of Mr. Brown and the entire team for just being a part of his vision of inspiring hundreds of thousands of voices of hope all over this globe, each one of us doing and tapping in to the great things that are placed inside of us, because as he's told us, there's greatness in each and every one of you. So as we get ready for tonight's call, we invite you to invite a friend. Let somebody know about this platform and continue to support what he has done for years on this line, with not just giving you information and motivation, but encouraging you to take the next step in your life. But tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we have an encore performance. Some of you were with us last week. You heard this amazing individual. She's something of a rainmaker. For almost 10 years, she's been in peak performance and motivational speaking, life coaching, and business training. Her entrepreneurial spirit really represents the legacy of her father and her grandfather, who inspired and motivated her to pursue her life's goals. Now, whether she's delivering messages related to personal development, to leadership, to sales, or business, trust me, she represents a universal message that will speak to the personal lives of hopes and dreams of her audience. Her energy is contagious, and she has a mantra: we are all winners. And that really encourages so many to transform their lives and careers. Communicating with humor, she uses poetic lyrics and practical applications and innovative techniques to help other people succeed. I could go on and on about this national corporate business trainer, sought-after motivational speaker, peak performance strategist, and life coach, but let me tell you, she is a dear friend of mine. She is someone who I enjoy working with, who I enjoy learning from and growing through life with, because she's committed to personal growth and development on a mastery level. So I get to bring her back tonight. Some of you have heard her voice before. Some of you met her for the first time last week, and some will be introduced tonight to none only than the world famous Anita Hicks. Anita, are you on the line?
I am here, Dr. Stacy N.C. Grant. How are you? And I'm so glad to be back. Yes, I am. Thank you so much for inviting me back. Oh, my.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Anita, the phones went crazy. Everybody was just so excited about the conversation, the information that you shared. And I know we only had a small window of time to pour into the audience. And we said, why not bring you back to continue this conversation? Because now it's the month of May. It's a brand new month. We are now in the 5th month of 2016, way past the first quarter, well into the second quarter, and folks are either moving at a nice pace. They're either trying to pick up the pace or start a pace. How about that?
Absolutely. Exactly.
So it's a time, a crucial time, where some of your additional expertise, I know, will be a benefit to our audience tonight as they listen in, because one of the things that you speak a lot about, time management, and what that really means, is an incredible way to really spend wisely this particular month of May, that sandwich right before the start of summer activities and moving into the third quarter, that if we can understand the concept of what that means, all of our family members, all of our listeners can position themselves to win. So with that, Anita, I want to jump right into what have you seen as a trend when it comes to managing time and what that really means?
Well, you know, Dr. Stacy, first of all, again, thank you so much for inviting me back. I am so excited, and for all those that reached out to me on the call, it was so good to hear from you, and on my Facebook, you blew up my Facebook and your email, so thank you so much. But one of the things that I have been practicing, and I have to practice, is effective time management strategies for success. And I teach that. That's one of the things that I travel around the world teaching to corporations, to small businesses. I've traveled all around the world teaching these strategies. Now, Dr. Stacy, you've heard people say, I am so busy, I don't have time to do anything. I know you've heard that.
Absolutely.
So for those of you that are listening on this call right now, that may be your story. So if that's your story, I want you to take some notes. If you're driving, listen very carefully, because if you are so busy, you don't have time for anything. You need to stop and get organized. One of the first questions that I ask people when I'm teaching my time management class, because time management seems to be a real issue for everyone. The first thing is, you cannot manage time, because time is not going to change. We all have the same amount of hours in the day, the same amount of days in the week, the same in months and days in the year. We all have the same amount. So what we have to learn is to come up with skills to manage ourselves and what we do within that time. So it's no more time management, it's managing ourselves and really taking seriously what we are doing with this time. When you think about your time, I want you to ask yourself this question. If time were money, how would I spend it? How would I spend it, Dr. Stacy? How would I spend it?
I know that's right.
So I know some of us have great television programs that we love to watch on certain days, and it consistently, we spend hours in front of the television. Now, let me tell you, Dr. Stacy, I do not have a television. I made a conscious choice not to have a television. And yes, I do watch television sometimes. There are certain things that I like to watch periodically, but there is nothing that I consistently watch. Now there are some shows that I do like, but you will never hear Anita Hicks say every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm sitting in front of the television at this particular time. No, that doesn't happen for me, because this is what I think about. I say, if time were money, how would I spend it? Because listen, Dr. Stacy, those people that I'm watching, they are making money while I'm watching them. So I love it. It's nothing wrong with watching television, going to the movies, because I do all of those things. But one of the things that I do is I practice effective time management. Now, tomorrow night, I'm going to be on Dr. Valerie Parker's blog radio show, and I'm going to be talking about 7 strategies of time management, but I'm not going to be able to talk about all of them tonight. So tonight, I'm just going to give you a few. So for those of you that are listening on the call, if you want the rest of them, you can log on to my Facebook page, Anita Hicks. I'm on Facebook, or either email me, and I can give you the information for Dr. Valerie Parker's blog radio show tomorrow night, Tuesday at 8 p.m. So now, the first thing I said, I want you all to remember that. Ask yourself, if time were money, how would I spend it? Now, asking yourself, listeners, that question on a consistent basis, you are going to change some of the things that you do. You really are. You're going to stop doing certain things, and you're going to start doing other things. So,
but hold on one second, Anita. I gotta just pause for a minute here, because I threw my shoe when you said that, and everybody could see me throw my shoe. So, if time were money, how would you say it? So you need to tell me, if time were money, you would stay on the phone, entertaining, not going anywhere, conversation, talking about the same old thing that people don't want to change. Is that what you're telling me?
I just threw my shoe when you just said that. But listen, because here's the deal. If somebody's complaining about you and they're constantly talking about they're going to do this, shoulda, coulda, woulda, all of that stuff, they're in the same spot. As a matter of fact, they're not in the same spot. They've moved back a couple of notches since last year. It is about moving forward, people. It is about moving forward. And one of the ways you can do it is you can look at your time, because every one of us have the same amount of time. That's the great equalizer for all of us. So the question to you is, what are you doing with your time? Listening in on this call tonight is a great investment. It's a great investment in your time, because first of all, you're hearing me and you're hearing Dr. Stacy and you hear other people, and we are depositing in your life and giving you an opportunity to take some of these strategies and apply them into your life, because we have invested in ourselves and we want to see you grow. We want to see you grow. We don't want to see you at the same level 5, 10 years. We don't want to see you there. We want to see you grow. So you're absolutely right. So that was a good point that you made.
Because I want everyone to understand, and I know you can't share all of them tonight, and you're going to go into detail with Dr. Valerie Parker tomorrow, but tonight I really want folks to listen, because this is a very crucial time in the year to be deliberate about how you spend your time. Like you said, you can't get time back. Once it's gone, it's gone. Just like when you spend the money, it's gone. And I don't like my money being wasted. So I appreciate you sharing that point. And I'm going to pause my little microphone so you can continue.
Okay, girl. Okay. So listen, now I just dropped that one on you. I'm going to drop another one on you. So one of the quickest ways to get a handle on your time is to focus. Now, we've heard the word focus, 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 focus all the time. So what does that really mean? So I'm going to break it down for you. The word, when you think of the word focus, think of follow one course until successful. Follow one course until successful. I was talking to a good friend of mine. Her name is Kira, and we are getting ready to partner on some things. And she made a comment to me. She said, there are a lot of people that would like for me to focus on different areas, because she's powerful in finances. I attended one of her trainings the other day, and she said, but I have to focus on this area. And I said, you are absolutely right. Focus one course until successful. This whole notion and idea of having all of these things and everything that you're doing. I'm so busy. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. This is why we can't accomplish anything. This is exactly why we cannot accomplish anything. And I remember when I first decided that I wanted to become a motivational speaker, and I've told this story before on this call and several other calls, Les Brown said to me, Anita, commitment shows up in your behavior. And I didn't understand that for a while. I had to sit with what he was saying to me. They had an event, a seminar in Atlanta. And I was thinking, great, the seminar and training is going to be in Atlanta, so I'll get an opportunity to go out and work with some of my real estate agents, pop back in on the training, pop back out, go work on the transaction, pull my computer up. Now, what am I doing? I am all over the place. So he stopped me as I was kind of sneaking back into the workshop. And he said, Anita, let me talk to you for a minute. He said, what are you doing? He said, you're not serious. You're not committed. I said, what do you mean I'm not committed? Look, I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm doing, you see what I'm saying? So then he just walked away. And I wanted to throw a shoe at him, to be honest with you. But I understood. I finally got it. This whole notion of multitasking and doing so many things, it does not work. There are studies that are saying that if we multitask, people that are on their phone and writing emails, you're losing brain cells. For those of you that are multitasking and doing different things, no, we have to stop that. We have to focus on one thing at a time. And when you finish that thing, stick a pin in it and go to the next thing. And you will get a surge of energy, and you actually will be able to accomplish more. I tell people ask me, they say, how do you accomplish all of these things? And I use this strategy that I call focus days. And that's one of the things that I talk about on my webinar. And for those of you that were on the call last week, I told you about my Speak and Make Money webinar that is happening this Wednesday on the 4th. And I actually had 3 people from the call, Sharon Foster, Janice Bentley, and Tiffany. They actually signed up for the training because they want to take Speak and Make Money, and they want to take the 30-day accountability coaching, which is free. This is about a $3,000 package, and I'm offering a special, and I'll tell you a little bit at the end about what the special is for you. But in that accountability coaching, I go into what I call the focus days. And this is one strategy. When I tell you that has helped me do so many things, and people are like, how do you get to do all of this? I have focus days. You will never hear me say, I'm too busy to do this. I'm too busy to do this. So when you call me and say there's a slot available, yes, I know Monday night is motivation. There are things that I'm doing on Monday that I can actually make myself available for certain things like this, because this is what I'm called to do. So focus days is really, really key. So the word focus, follow one course until successful. How does
I love it. I absolutely, this time I did a backflip. I love it because you cannot be key cook and bottle washer, jack of all trades and master of none. And
you cannot.
Focus allows you to really, and I've been there and done that, because I don't know how many of our callers listening, there was a show and a little satire in Living Color way back when. I'm dating myself, and they had a family skit that they used to do called the Headleys. They were Jamaican, and this family is Jamaican, and they were talking about how many jobs they had. And I thought it was cool to have a million jobs till I was passed out.
I remember that. That was so funny, but that was funny, yes.
Exactly, but there's some truth in a little bit of truth in every satire or joke. And the truth of the matter is that some of us have been conditioned to believe that we're not being productive unless we have a million things going on at the same time. And
Absolutely.
There's no way around what you said, Anita. Focusing is allowing you to follow one course until successful. Sometimes we quit one thing because it's not happening enough or not happening fast enough. So we want to sell the cookies, we want to start the perfume, we want to create the lipstick, we want to go out and do the revenue. So we have to decide which thing is going to be primary, like you said, and you help people to identify where the focus needs to be. There's not that you can't accomplish all of those things, but doing them with deliberate focus one at a time, so that once it's solid and you set a foundation, it can continue to grow for you in the future. So I love the follow one course until successful. And oh my goodness, I can only imagine what you're going to do when you go through the rest of them, but you probably only have time for about one more. So I hope you are taking notes.
I got 2 more that I'm going to give you. Because
look at that. Okay.
2 more that I'm going to give you. But listen, one of the reasons why you and I can relate to this, and for those of you that are on the phone and some of you that are busy and doing a lot of things, we can relate because we've done it. We've done that. We were actually in that situation, but when you know better, you do better. And this is why I'm sharing these things with you. So the next thing goes into prioritizing. There is what we call 4 quadrants, and I can't get into the 4 quadrants right now, but there's 4 quadrants when it comes to prioritizing. And you put these things into one of 4 quadrants. Some of them are urgent. Some of them are not so urgent. Some of them are important. Some of them are just if I get to it types of things. So once you put these things in these quadrants and you prioritize them, it's going to be easier for you to say, okay, it's not that I'm not going to do this. It's just that this now is an urgent the urgent quadrant. And when you have, now there should not be everything in the urgent quadrant. And this is one of the things I teach, because when you have things in the urgent quadrant, there's a reason why those things in the urgent. You should not be stressful and have things in your urgent quadrant. You should have things pretty much in the quadrant that say they're important. So when you have those things in the urgent quadrant, you have to come up with systems to figure out how to keep them out of that urgent quadrant. And then when you have the things that are wasting your time, like you have the people that want to complain to you, you have to learn how to say to them, listen, let me check my schedule. And that's another thing. If you don't have a schedule, a calendar, I encourage you to get a schedule. And so when people say, hey, what are you doing today? And you say, well, let me check my schedule. And they're like, so when did you get a schedule? I didn't know you had a schedule. Oh, I'm doing things a little bit differently because that wasn't working for me. So now, so let me check my schedule. You know what? I don't have any time available until the end of this month on Friday. And, that's the time you sit down to deal with. You do want to deal with your friends or people because they're your friends, but you got to teach people how to treat you. And this is what Mr. Brown talks about often, teaching people how to treat you. And so that goes, so once you figured out where they go in the quadrant, there's something called the 80, this is the final thing, the 80-20 rule, 80-20 rule. So you should be spending, there are certain things that should go in the 80% and then the 20%. So when you look at what's going on with you, you should have what you call an 80-20 rule. So most of the things that you need to have done should be done in that 80%. And then 20% should be the time where you have to work on those other things that are not so important. So but most of the time what's working, how it's flipped. We're spending 80% of the time wasting our time and 20% trying to get things done at the last minute, which throws us in that urgency priority and say, I got to get this done before this time because I've wasted so much time. So you see how that system works? So once you learn this system and you place things the way they are, where they should be, then you will develop different habits. It takes 21 days to create a new habit. So once you start creating this new habit, people are going to look at you and they're going to say, well, what's going on with you? But they will eventually get it. And let me give you this final example. One of the examples I love to give, everybody on this phone have scheduled a doctor's appointment, have gone to the doctor. And one of the things I want you to notice, this is what they do because they are very effective in time management. They've learned how to manage because they have so many patients. So what they do is when you're done, they're going to give you a slip of paper or a card or whatever and say, this is your next appointment. They have already scheduled this based on their time. And the reason they do that is because they know most people will fall in that slot. But what I do is I say, no, well, that time is not all the time. I look at my schedule and I'll say, no, that is not going to work for me because for me, if I have a doctor's appointment, most of the time my doctor's appointment is either going to be on a Monday or a Friday because I have what I call focus days. Tuesdays and Thursdays are my coaching days and Wednesday are my webinar days. So I have days that I do specific things and I focus on those things. And then the other things are done, administrative work on Mondays and Fridays. So that's how I manage my day. And so when you put a system in your place, in place for you, it's not that the doctor is not going to say, I can't take you. They may have to push you down a month or so. That's okay because who wants to go to the doctor anyway? Just joking. But you have to manage your time. Remember, there's no such thing as time management because time doesn't change. You have to manage your time. So those are the things that I have, and I hope it's been very helpful for you because, listen, life is just too wonderful, and we need to find some time to have some enjoyment and have some fun because my personal motto is work hard and play even harder. And I have to manage my time very effectively to play even harder.
I love it. I love it. You already know how I feel about that motto. And I definitely agree. And tonight's conversation was so important because I was having two different instances with clients and when I was presenting, and I kept hearing the same thing, people feeling like, oh my goodness, I can't believe it's May. Where did the year go? I have this to do, I have that to do, and all this anxiety. And I knew that tonight, having this conversation, continuing where we left off last week on tangible, practical applications in the lives of those who are listening in on this call can really change the trajectory of success for 2016 just by implementing what you shared tonight. Focus. Follow one course until successful. Prioritizing and getting information on how you can really put your work into urgent, not urgent, priority, important. Really figuring out those areas that are effective and to create systems that support the work that you're doing is absolutely incredible. And I hope everyone was taking notes and really thinking of ways in which you can implement this information as soon as right now. So before we do anything else, how can our callers stay connected with you and find out information about the webinar that you are having on Wednesday if they really want to get the nut and bolts of the conversation and take it to a deeper level?
Thank you so much for asking me that. So one of the things I have developed is I have developed a strong coaching program. And I also have developed a technique on helping people speak and make money and grow their business. Speaking and Make Money is a webinar that I have. And my clients have gotten lots of success out of it. Some of them want to become speakers, but at the end of the day, you have to be a mouthpiece for your business. You have to sell and market your business. So I have a webinar that is coming up, and for those of you that are interested, go to speakandmakemoney.com. Speakandmakemoney.com. That webinar is this Wednesday, the 4th at 8:30 p.m. Now, I have a special offer for you, those of you that are on the call, just like I offered it to the last people that signed up last week. If you enter the promotional code SPEAK, SPEAK 2016, SPEAK 2016, you will get 50% off of the price. So if you have any questions, email me, Anita at AnitaHicks.com. And I'll be more than happy to help you out and to help you through the process. But I would love to, and with this comes a free 30-day accountability coaching program. As I shared last week, one of my coaching clients, she started her business. The other one wrote 5 ebooks in 30 days. And it all has to do with the techniques and strategies. I hold you accountable. I help you focus. I help you come up with the plan, the things that you want to do, because most of the time people are talking about it. And we're not in that space now. We're in the space and phase of getting it done. So you want to connect with people that are going to help you get it done. So connect with me on Facebook, social media, AnitaHicks.com. But I want you to attend this webinar that I have on Wednesday, speakandmakemoney.com.
Awesome. Well, I know we are almost at the half-hour mark where we will be shutting down, but if someone has a question or a comment, we're going to ask Ms. Hicks to stay on for another 2 minutes so that she can hear that, and then I will invite you to visit lesbrown.com. That's lesbrown.com for more information on upcoming programs and events. There's a training in Los Angeles, California, May 27th and 28th. All of the information is on the website. You can also connect with Mr. Brown on Facebook at brown.les. That's brown.les on Facebook for his motivational messages and information that is shared there as well. So prepare to unmute your line if you have a question and or comment for Ms. Anita Hicks tonight, everyone.
All callers are unmuted. All callers are muted and may unmute themselves by pressing *6.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, press *6 if you have a question and or comment for Ms. Anita Hicks tonight.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hi. Hello. Hi.
Hello. I'm still here.
Okay, we have 2 people talking, so let's just do this one at a time, and we'll be able to hear both of your questions and or comments. So the first young lady, go right ahead.
Okay. This is Janice Bentley, Miss Hicks. I cannot wait for this webinar, and I cannot wait to be coached by you. You are awesome. You are so awesome. I've got to try to find a way to continue with you coaching.
Well, we're going to work it out. And so you should have got an email from me today giving you the access code to the webinar for Wednesday. If not, check your emails between now and tomorrow, because I did send you an email. So look out for that. And I'm looking forward to coaching you. It's going to be, trust me, you're going to accomplish your goals.
I believe that. I believe that. And I've gotten so much out of what you even said tonight, because the Lord was just telling me to focus. I'm trying to do too much at one time, so I have got to focus. Thank you so much.
All right. So that's one of the things. Now, when we start talking on our coaching program, I'm going to remind you of this. So remember, when you start working with me, I'm going to hold you accountable, and I know you can do it. Okay?
All righty. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Thank you. And there was the second caller. Go right ahead.
Anita, is it me? Anita Ray Broussard in Dallas area.
Hey, Ray. How are you?
Okay, I left you a couple of messages. I want to sign up, but my email's not working right now on my computer. And I'm waiting for somebody to come set things up correctly for me. But I want to take your course. Do you know how much it's going to be?
Yeah, so you'll get a discount of $99. But let me tell you, Ray, you have to have access to your computer. The only way you're going to be able to do it is because it's online. I mean, it's a webinar, so you have to have access on the webinar.
I can get on the computer, but I can't get on my email.
Okay, well, as long as you can go to PayPal, go to Seek and Make Money and register for it, then you should be fine.
I got on PayPal.
Okay,
and I lost my credit card.
Okay, well, what other options do you have?
I'm trying to get my credit card tomorrow.
Okay, all right.
So let's do this. Number. Ray, we have two other callers that are unmuted. So what we should do is, if you just give Ms. Hicks a call, she can talk with you offline and figure out a way to help you, okay?
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, sweetheart. And
hello,
two other callers? Yes.
Anita, I got a problem with having a lot of stuff on my schedule. So I don't, when people put regiments on my time, whether I'm getting paid or not, I got a problem with having something on my schedule all the time. Do you have anything on your schedule that says do nothing?
Yeah, that's when the quadrant comes in. You have to schedule yourself in. There are certain days and certain times when people call me. I'm in a meeting. My sons would call me and I'm say I'm in a meeting. I text and say I'm in a meeting. I will be at the movies.
Oh, okay. I got you.
When you're in a meeting, so you have to schedule yourself. And so have you taken, so connect with me on social media, on Facebook, or, I think if you take this class, it'll really help you come up with some strategies and some systems, because it really is about creating some new habits. It really is.
All right. Thank you.
What was your name again?
Queen.
Queen. All right, Queen. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
Bye. All right. Thank you, Queen. And we'll take one more person. Go right ahead, sir.
Ladies, my name is Orlando Gunn from Fort Hood, Texas, central area. And so I've been speaking to schools a lot. My calling is young student athletes and students in general. And so the one question I do have is, when it comes to, I guess, trying to negotiate a fee for the first time if you've been speaking for free for the last few years.
So
any advice in that avenue?
No, you say your name is Orlando?
Orlando Gunn, yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Gunn. Now, so how long did you say you've been speaking?
Pretty much, so in 2006, I went to LSU. So pretty much ever since I went to college, I would come back to our high schools in the area. And so the last 4, 5, 6 years, just always coming back, holidays, and talking to different classes and auditoriums and things of that nature. But it's always been on a volunteer basis because that's what my passion is. So now it's about trying to negotiate a fee, but when it comes to the school districts, in classrooms.
Yeah, so here's the deal, Mr. Gunn. So, when you have to, on a skill set of 1 to 10, with your subject matter, where would you say your skill set is on a scale of 1 to 10? What is your skill set?
I'd say the skill set is at a 7.
Okay, that's good. So that's good enough to charge. That's good enough to charge. So what you have to do, there are certain things, and this Speaking Make Money would be a great webinar for you. And then you can do the accountability coaching. I am actually connected with a young lady called Monique Smith, and she works a lot with the CIAA. And if you go on my website, I'll be doing, it's called Chat in the Garden with her at the end of this month. And she worked with a lot of coaches, and she worked with a lot of camps. And I went, do you know there are a lot of camps?
A lot of camps as far as speaking?
No, camps as far as athletic camps. You said you work with athletes.
Okay, right.
There's a lot of camps, right?
There are numerous amounts, yes.
Okay. So here's what you have to do as a young, you sound like a young, you're pretty young. So
I'm 28, yes ma'am.
You're 28. Okay, so my son started his speaking. I taught him how to do it. He's 29. And so you have to come up with a way to introduce, and you played ball. You know what these young people need. So it could be for the parents. So you have to come up with something unique. You may not be able to do it on your own. You may need a coach. And so that's why I created this platform. So with the 30-day accountability program, you could develop something within 30 days, and then you can start charging people for it because your skill set is there. So I would encourage you to go after the parents of the young people, because that's, even though the kids have money because they buy tennis shoes and everything, but they ain't going to spend it on you.
Definitely, that is definitely understood, yes ma'am. And so at the end of the day, it is to empower and educate the parents, because they are basically a mouthpiece for their students and their financial banking options, if you will. But really just want to ask on that, and I just started listening to everything. I'm glad I got on the call. I really appreciate you ladies. But I've been binge watching Les Brown the last 4 or 5 months or so.
Well, nothing wrong with that. Really that's a good binge. Now that's a good use of your time. But I can hear it in your voice, and I can tell that you have a great quality in your voice. So, I mean, connect with me, because, I do have a passion for athletes. I don't see I have certain goals, and I know that there are certain people that I want to speak to. So it just so happens that I met this young lady and young athletes, because here's the problem I have with young athletes. When they first start speaking, they talk like they got off the Ebonics. Yeah, and I told my son, when my son was young, he played sports, because he played with, what's the guy name that played in the Super Bowl from Atlanta? What's the black guy?
That is a long time ago.
No,
are you talking early 2000s?
I'm talking the first of the year. Anyway,
Atlanta did not make it to the Super Bowl this year.
I know they did not, but what's the guy?
Playoffs?
I can't think of. No, the Super Bowl. Yeah, I can't think of his name. But anyway, but I'm just saying, he went to school in Atlanta. Okay. I can't think of his name. But anyway, so when my son was in school, and I would tell him, if you ever get in front of a television, because he talks a certain way to his friends, but I do not allow my sons to talk to me that way.
Right. There's very distinct
so when you
difference.
open your mouth, you tell the world who you are. And I think that some of them are doing a lot better now, so they may have some training. And that could be an area, because you sound very well-spoken. So
thank you very much. I do have a journalism background from LSU. I did my master's at UCF in Orlando. I worked at the NCAA as well as the Miami Dolphins, but ultimately did all that to come back to give back. So that's kind of where I'm at, and it's my passion. So wherever your passions are, hopefully you can find enough people that like it, and they pay you a fee for it. So that's the part that I'm in right now.
Yeah, and that's the joy of what we do: help people make provision with what they've been given. So grateful for you being on the call, and I'm just going to put us in presentation mode again. So stand by, everyone.
All callers are muted.
So that was a wonderful question and a great example that you gave, Anita, of how you can start to position yourself and really prepare to share with the world what you've been given. And being on the Speak and Make Money webinar will give our listeners an opportunity to go to the next level with that. And that is the exciting part about the work that we do with Mr. Brown and our individual platforms, is really pointing you in the direction and giving you the resources and tools to be able to grow and really function in that space of excellence and greatness, which is where you belong. So thank you, Ms. Anita Hicks, for being an example of that, for sharing your insights tonight. I'm so excited about just the impact this conversation has had on everyone that's listening, and what they'll be able to continue to receive as they catch you on the Blog Talk show with Dr. Valerie Parker tomorrow and the webinar on Wednesday. So make sure you visit AnitaHicks.com for more information, and go to SpeakAndMakeMoney.com to make sure that you are in position to take advantage of this wealth of knowledge. I want to thank all of you for tuning in yet another Monday, this first Monday in May. We invite you to come back again and bring a friend so that you can share the great things that are happening in this motivational Monday night family. My name is Dr. Stacey N.C. Grant. It's been a pleasure being your host. Visit me at DestinyDesignersUniversity.com, where you can connect with me on social media or send me a message on the website, and LesBrown.com for more information about our upcoming programs and events. Anita Hicks, you're the bomb.com, sis, and thank you for being here.
Thank you, my sister. God bless you. Good night.
God bless. Bye-bye.
Bye.